How's it going, Dolphins fans? Welcome to Waking Up with the Extra Yard. My name is Michael Christian. You can follow me on Twitter at Michael5RSN, and I'm here to talk to you guys about that embarrassing 35-0 loss to the Buffalo Bills. Now, it's hard really to decide what to talk about this game because there's so much, but it feels so overwhelmingly negative. So first, I want to give you guys some positives. So here are some positives on the Miami Dolphins 35-0 loss to the Buffalo Bills. We can talk. Oh, that was no. I can't believe it. No.
We're waiting.
As you can see, it's really hard to come up with positives. There were some, very few. I don't really want to make this a positives negatives conversation. I just want to get into some key takeaways that I had after this 35-0 loss. But the first thing we need to talk about before we get into anything else is Tua Tagovailoa. Tua Tagovailoa went down in that game very early on in the first quarter with a rib injury, and that rib injury was thanks to Miami Dolphins right tackle Jesse Davis. Jesse Davis has been absolutely killing it this year. And by killing it, I mean our own quarterbacks.
Move this man!
And I say quarterbacks because we've had to have more than one. Here's a picture of Tua after the injury. Now you can see he's on the ground. He's being helped up by Jesse Davis, because Jesse Davis is thinking to himself, oh God, no, please be okay. Please be okay. I don't want to get fired. And thankfully, Jesse Davis was taken out of the game. Now, I don't wish injury upon anyone, so I'm not happy that Jesse Davis is injured. But I don't know how much of Jesse Davis coming out was an injury thing, or just, hey, you've put both of our quarterbacks in harm's way too many times. Sit down. We're tired of seeing you. We need Tua back sooner rather than later. I don't know when exactly he'll come back. Hopefully we'll find out soon. But I can tell you guys right now, if you're looking for an answer from Brian Flores, we already know what he's going to say. Tua Tagovailoa is day to day, and they will take it day to day. The moment we find out anything about Tua Tagovailoa, but for now, looks like we're riding with Jacoby Brissett. Now, Jacoby Brissett is playing behind an offensive line that has gone way too far downhill, and that is why my second takeaway is that offensive line and their putrid performance. Now, lucky for me, all 22 footage has been really hard to come by, but I actually found some all 22 footage on the Miami Dolphins offensive line from this Sunday's game against the Bills. Take a look.
Here comes the blitz and no one's blocking.
As you can see, the Miami Dolphins offensive line got absolutely obliterated on that play. Now, obviously, that was a clip from the movie The Longest Yard, but hey, who knows? That's probably a better offensive line than what the Miami Dolphins are throwing out there right now. All the picks, all the money, everything that they've invested into that offensive line, honestly, just hasn't worked. Austin Jackson, first-round pick, does not look like he's going to be it. You've got Solomon Kinley, fourth-round pick, I believe he was, also doesn't look like he's going to be it. You've got Robert Hunt, second-round pick, might be our best offensive lineman, but it's hard for one guy to carry the whole line, and even he has his lapses here and there. Michael Dieter, who was originally going to be playing guard, then got moved to center, also doesn't seem to be working out, and obviously Jesse Davis just isn't the fit, so they put him Liam Eichenberg, and I think it's too soon to tell whether or not Liam Eichenberg is the answer or not, so I'll keep him kind of out of this for now. But those other guys, it's just not working well, so you have to ask yourself, what is this front office going to do? And I wouldn't be surprised if we see some major changes. Maybe Greg Mance comes in and plays a little bit of center or guard. Maybe you have Greg Little come in and he plays a little bit of tackle. No matter what it is, this team needs a change. Find someone on the outside, maybe a Mitchell Schwartz. Maybe trade a pick for a tackle who might be a bit disgruntled somewhere else, like a Dwayne Brown. Figure out a way to fix this offensive line sooner rather than later, because you would hate to look back on this team in a few years and think, man, if only they had an offensive line, they wouldn't have wasted that really, really solid defense that they had. With that being said, I do have more thoughts on the offense, but we got to talk about the defense a little bit. The defense was able to keep Josh Allen in check, and Josh Allen has a history of torching the Miami Dolphins. He is 5-1 in his previous games against the Dolphins. He's thrown for 1,500 yards, has 17 touchdowns and 4 interceptions with a passer rating of 114.3. Just to let you know, that is a really good set of numbers. A good enough set of numbers that if you put those up over an entire season, there is no doubt he would be the MVP for that year. But the Dolphins found a way to keep him in check this time. Josh Allen threw 17 for 33 for 179 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. He missed a lot of passes he should have made. The Dolphins' pressure was getting to him more often than not, even though they only had 1 sack. And of course, Xavier Howard found a way to make an amazing pick that really makes you question, how is that even possible? He did a great job. Byron Jones had some good plays. The Bills won, but I'm not going to say it was because of Josh Allen. And for that, I'm proud of the Miami Dolphins defense for keeping Josh Allen in check. Just think it was really nothing else that worked out. You know, on the offensive side of the ball, obviously we've talked about Tua went down, so they had to play Jacoby Brissett. We talked about the offensive line. But the wide receivers weren't great either. The wide receivers were dropping passes. I don't think they were keeping all of their blocks. You had Jalen Waddle even muff that punt at one point in the game after Jakeem Grant went out, and Jakeem Grant had that fumble near the goal line. It just looked like nothing was working out on offense. It seemed like when, you know, the quarterback was doing enough to make up for the offensive line being bad, the wide receivers would drop it. Or if the wide receivers were open and the quarterback was ready to make that read, the offensive line was letting people get after the quarterback, or they'd make a good play and there'd be a holding penalty. That kind of dysfunction does not lead to a successful NFL team. So before I let you guys go, I just have some final thoughts. And really my final thought, my big thing is this and this alone. Do not forget about this game. We need to move on. We need to study the next opponent. We need to keep moving forward. But I want the team, my hope is that this team holds on to this game in the back of their heads. Use it as a chip on their shoulder. Use it to motivate you. Take that embarrassment you're feeling. Take what Xavier Howard said after the game, which is that locker room felt like a funeral. Take that feeling, hold on to it, and tell yourself, I never want to feel like this again, and I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure it doesn't happen.
Miami Dolphins.
Thank you guys so much for watching Waking Up with the Extra Yard. Hopefully these videos will be much more positive moving forward, but I mean, honestly, it's hard to be positive after the way the Dolphins performed this past Sunday. Make sure to keep it locked in here on the YouTube channel. Subscribe, ring that notification bell, and smash that like button. We will have videos coming out more consistently, and every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 p.m. here on this channel, we will have our full Extra Yard panel, myself, Juan, Kai, and Royal, discussing the previous game and looking forward to next week's game. So keep it locked in here, and as always, fins up.